Food is more affordable than ever, and the average grocery shop in the UK remains one of the cheapest in the world. But for people struggling to pay bills and make ends meet, going without food is often the first sacrifice to be made. According to Salisbury-based charity the Trussell Trust, the number of people turning to Foodbanks has rocketed in the past decade, with 200,000 bags of donated food handed out in the South last year. In the second part of his series, Sault has been talking to some of those who are just about managing.
So each triangle, you gently prise off. Don't worry if it tears, it doesn't matter. And again, these are £1.
This isn't quite what you'd expect when you think of a food bank, but these ladies at this cookery lesson in Christchurch are here because they had to use the town's food bank at a local church.
There are people that have come to the food bank because they need, that help out of their crisis, but what it does is it manages their money and their shopping to keep them out of the food bank, so they can shop more economically, cook better food, and hopefully, not come back.
Christine is one of them. She went to the Christchurch food bank after getting into financial difficulty and was faced with finding food for her 3 children.
Food was wasted, pre-packed food, quick, simple, throw it in the oven. So I'll be cooking 2 or 3 meals at a time. So I've gone from £140 a week food shopping to like £60 a week food shopping. So it's a huge difference, especially when you're on benefits and you've only got a small amount of money to use.
Next door, Tracy showed me around the food bank here. It was thought places like this would only be needed for a short time after the 2008 financial crash. But it seems with the introduction of universal credit, that need hasn't gone away.
People are waiting up to 5 weeks for money. So although we're still only giving 3 days food, they don't have any finances for 5 weeks. And that is tipping them over the edge. That's making their rent not be paid, their bills not be paid, and that brings them to us.
Do you think we'll always have food banks?
Sadly, I think we will. I mean, I'd like not to have a job. I'd like there to be no food banks and people be self-sufficient, but I think there will.
And that's something echoed by the Salisbury-based Trussell Trust linked to this food bank on the Isle of Wight. They say every time universal credit is rolled out in a new area, there's a surge in demand for help.
With universal credit, the main problem is the waiting time. So people having to wait 4, 5, 6, even up to 10, 12 weeks for some money. Obviously they can't live on fresh air, so those are the sorts of people that we need to be helping.
And Matthew is one of those. He's come in with a voucher and will get 3 days of food, including items like cereal, pasta and tin meat.
I can't borrow money, I can't get loans or anything, so I'd be without anything for over a week. And I know you can survive over a week without food, but it isn't nice having to.
I've been coming for about 3 or 4 years now, once or twice every 6 months. More need while I'm getting older and things are struggling.
But it's not just those on benefits or the unemployed that this food bank helps. There's also been an increase in the number of people, often working families, who are struggling to put food on the table.
When we approached the Trussell Trust, they did some research which told us we were the 8th most deprived district in the southeast. We've got couples that are both in full-time employment, but then if they get one big bill in, they've got to choose between paying the bill or eating that month. So if we can help them, it saves them getting into debt.
And other charities like First Days in Berkshire have seen the need for their services rise too. Rather than being a food bank, they help provide items to people like school clothing.
People sort of see Wokingham as an affluent area, as one of the best places in the country to live. But then here we are today, out here doing a coat exchange to make sure that children 4 to 16 have school coats. So what does that tell you? There's hidden pockets out there.
Married mum of 3, Katie, was one of those that I met here. Being able to get a coat for her eldest child for free has helped lift a financial weight off her shoulders.
By the time the bills are paid, we're probably left with about £300 a month just to live off. So we're on a really tight budget because I can't work because of my eldest having so many problems that he's trying to get help for. But having twin boys as well, it's so expensive these days.
From you, I'll take that.
Back in Christchurch, and Christine is putting what she's learnt into practice. She says you shouldn't be ashamed for seeking help from a food bank. By coming to this one, she says it's helped cook up a new future for her and her family. Sault, BBC South Today.